Pip Goes Home. In a secret, sparkling corner of the Whispering Woods, nestled amongst the tallest bluebells and brightest moon-petal flowers, lived a tiny fairy named Pip. Pip was a cheerful little sprite, with a dress the color of a sunbeam and wings that shimmered like freshly fallen dew. Her favorite thing was to flit from flower to flower, helping the sleepy bees find the sweetest nectar, and painting the ladybugs' spots even shinier. One blustery afternoon, as Pip was carefully polishing a particularly shy buttercup, a great gust of wind, stronger than any she had ever felt, swooped through the woods. It caught Pip right off her tiny feet, spinning her up into the sky. She twirled and tumbled, her shiny wings flapping wildly, until everything became a blur of green and brown. When the wind finally calmed and gently set her down, Pip opened her eyes. But instead of her familiar moon-petal home, she was surrounded by giant, unfamiliar ferns and trees that touched the clouds. A shiver ran through her tiny body. Pip was lost. And she was very, very scared. She quickly darted behind a broad, dewy fern, her heart thumping like a frantic drum. The forest sounds seemed so loud, the shadows so deep. She squeezed her eyes shut, wishing she could just disappear. But then, a tiny, brave flicker ignited within her. She had to find her way home. Taking a shaky breath, Pip slowly peeked out from her hiding spot. All she could see was a dark part of the woods, where the trees grew very close and twisted. She knew she had to keep going to find her way home, but with every tiny step forward, unfamiliar rustles and distant hoots made her little heart beat faster. What if unfriendly creatures lived here? Gathering all her courage, Pip peered around a giant mossy tree trunk right in front of her. And what she saw made her tiny eyes grow wide with surprise. Walking slowly through a sun-dappled clearing was a group of friends. There was a chattering squirrel, a lumbering badger, and another fairy. They were all holding hands, strolling along as if it were the most normal thing in the world. As Pip watched them, hardly daring to breathe, the fairy with the green dress suddenly turned her head. Her eyes, bright and kind, landed right on Pip's hiding spot. Pip gasped, startled, and quickly tried to shrink back further behind the tree. But it was too late. The green-dressed fairy had seen her. The green-dressed fairy gently let go of her friend's hands and slowly approached Pip's tree. "Hello there, little one," she said in a soft, musical voice. "Are you all right?" Pip's tiny voice was barely a whisper. I'm lost," she stammered, her yellow dress trembling slightly. A tear welled up in her eye and rolled down her cheek. The green-dressed fairy knelt down, her kind eyes full of understanding. "Oh, my dear," she murmured softly. "What is your name?" "Pip," she whispered, her voice still shaky, but a little stronger this time. She wiped away a tear with the back of her tiny hand. Lumiel smiled warmly. "It's lovely to meet you, Pip. My name is Lumiel, and these are my friends." She gestured towards the squirrel and badger, who were now watching with gentle curiosity. "This chattering fellow is Pipkin the squirrel," Lumiel said with a chuckle, "and our wise friend here is Barnaby the badger." Pipkin gave a little wave with his paw, and Barnaby offered a gentle nod. "So, Pip," Lumiel asked gently, "can you tell us where your home is? Maybe we can help you find your way back." Pip thought hard, trying to remember. It's near the tallest bluebells," she explained, "and there are lots of moon-petal flowers that glow softly at night." Barnaby the badger's ears perked up. "The Whispering Woods," he rumbled, his voice deep and warm. "I know exactly where that is. It's north, past the glimmering stream." A wave of relief washed over Pip. Her wings gave a tiny, happy flutter. "Oh, really?" she squeaked, her voice suddenly much brighter. "Indeed," Barnaby confirmed with a nod. "Come, little Pip. We'll show you the way. It's a bit of a journey, but we'll all go together." And so, with Barnaby leading, Lumiel holding Pip's tiny hand, and Pipkin scampering ahead, the four friends set off towards the north of the forest, ready for their adventure. Their journey began across wide, sun-kissed meadows, where flowers danced in the gentle breeze. Pip felt a little less scared, with her new friends by her side. Then they followed winding paths that twisted between ancient trees, and carefully stepped over bubbling brooks that sang cheerful songs as they flowed. Suddenly, a frantic squeaking sound echoed from behind a thicket. "Help! Oh please, someone help me!" a muffled voice cried out. They rushed to investigate, and found a little hedgehog, wiggling frantically. His head was completely stuck inside a hollow log, and he couldn't get free. Barnaby, Lumiel, and Pipkin immediately sprang into action, grabbing the hedgehog's little feet and pulling with all their might. But the log wouldn't budge, and the hedgehog just squeaked louder. Everyone sighed. "Oh dear, he's really stuck," Lumiel worried. But then, Pip's eyes lit up. She knew just what to do. "Wait here," Pip chirped, and with a quick dart, she flew off into the nearby bushes. With her knowledge of the woods, she knew exactly what she needed. In moments she returned, carefully carrying a freshly picked buttercup. She squeezed the flower, letting its golden nectar drip onto the hedgehog's neck, making it wonderfully slippy. "Now, pull," Pip instructed. They all tugged again, and with a satisfying pop, the hedgehog slid free from the log. The little hedgehog shook himself off, looking a bit dazed but very, very grateful. "Oh, thank you, he squeaked, rubbing his sore neck. "You saved me. My name is Spike," he added, puffing out his chest a little. "It's not every day a hedgehog gets rescued by such clever fairies and their friends," Lumiel smiled. "We're glad we could help, Spike. This is Pip, Pipkin, and Barnaby." Pip gave a shy wave, feeling a warm glow inside. After a few more friendly chatterings about how he'd gotten stuck and where he was headed, Spike wished them well and scuttled off into the undergrowth, promising to keep an eye out for any lost fairies. With a shared smile, the four friends continued their journey. Barnaby pointed his nose upwards. "The glimmering stream is just over that hill," he announced. They walked towards the gentle slope of the hill. As they reached the top, Pip gasped, her eyes wide with recognition. "It's here! I know where I am!" she cried, her voice filled with sudden joy. Just then, two voices, filled with worry and longing, drifted up on the breeze. "Pip, Pip, where are you?" a man's voice called. "Pip, please answer us," a woman's voice pleaded. "Mom! Dad!" Pip shouted, her tiny voice bursting with happiness. Without another thought, the four friends rushed down the hillside, towards the sound of the voices. There, beneath the tallest bluebells, stood two older fairies, their faces etched with worry, but their eyes shining with love. A kind man fairy, and a gentle woman fairy, both dressed in soft yellow. "Mum, Dad," Pip cried, flying as fast as her wings could carry her, straight into their open arms. Her mum and dad hugged her tightly, tears streaming down their faces. "Oh Pip, we were so worried," her mum whispered. "We're so glad you're safe," her dad added. They looked up and saw Lumiel, Barnaby, and Pipkin. "Thank you," Pip's dad said, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for bringing our little Pip home." "You must all come for tea," Pip's mum insisted. "We have freshly baked berry tarts and sparkling dewdrop nectar." And so, the new friends, along with Pip and her parents, gathered around a cozy table nestled amongst the moonpetal flowers. They ate, they drank, and they laughed, sharing stories of Pip's great adventure. Thank you for listening.